Here at the Game Mag, we take all gaming topics to the same level. It doesn't matter if you like playing games on PC, consoles, and on mobile. There is that stigma when it comes to mobile gaming, but it's undeniable that it is a big market and will always be a part of the gaming industry. We're getting a bit dramatic now, so why don't we focus on some Android games? This is going to be our top 5 Android games to play in 2021. When you have any Android device that has the power to run these games, then why don't you pick any of these today? Number 5. Genshin Impact. You knew that this game would be on this list, and even though it came out in late 2020, Genshin Impact is still one of the biggest titles in mobile gaming. One thing it has going for it is that it's free. Being free isn't enough, because Genshin has some of the best visuals in any game around. It uses anime-style art mixed up with cel-shaded graphics. If you look beyond the graphics, Genshin has some of the fastest and most exciting gameplay around. You get to make your party of 4 and swap between them during combat. The action is already good, but the fact that you have to strategize which characters can work well together adds a layer of fun to it. Multiplayer is also a blast when you have 3 of your friends join in with you or you joining them. Making your teams can be an adventure on its own. Another good reason that people love playing this game is the characters. Yes, that's right, the characters can make this game all the more better. Players spend a lot of time and even money getting their favorite waifu or husbando, and who can blame them? Speaking of characters, that's where Genshin works on for future updates. They'll release new characters for people to draw and play. There's also room for the story to be expanded, as well as new areas and zones to explore. The game is only a couple of months old, and with the expanding player base, there could be more updates in the near future. Number 4. Jetpack Joyride 2. The very first Jetpack Joyride game came out almost 10 years ago, and the sequel, Jetpack Joyride 2 Bullet Rush, was recently released last February of this year. Before we proceed, let that sink in. This game's predecessor came out around the early 2010s. Think of the mobile games that were big back then, like Angry Birds and Minecraft. Nowadays, the games for Android can be on par with some of those on consoles or PC. Getting back to Jetpack Joyride 2, it is a direct sequel to the first game. Barry Steak Fries is back trying to save the world from the evil plans of Professor Brains. The plot is your typical good guy having the need to topple the bad guy from world domination. The game is reminiscent of those old school 2D shoot-em-ups, or shmups as they are called. Barry will continuously fly horizontally and you can't backtrack. What you have to do is navigate Barry vertically, which lets him avoid obstacles at each level. If you get hit, your life bar will be reduced. Lose all of your life bar, then you will fail the level. Don't worry though, because that's the point of the game where you have to power up Barry. Every time you fail, you can get resources to upgrade your equipment. Each level has a certain distance that you have to cover and a boss fight at the end. When you finish the level, you proceed to the next one with a larger distance to cover. Do it several times and you'll beat the game. JJ2 is a fun game, but it can be a bit unforgiving since it brings a certain challenge that will remind you of those old challenging games, but that's not a bad thing. Number 3. Baby in Yellow. Number 3 on our list is The Baby in Yellow. Now, what kind of a name is that? I'll tell you what it is. It is a very interesting babysitting horror game. That's right, you heard that correctly. You're playing the role of the babysitter. Apparently, you're taking care of a demon baby, and before you know it, it'll mess with your mind. It is much like those mid-2010 horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you have to survive a number of nights. In this game, you'll be doing specific tasks each night. Just do the task and hope that the baby doesn't go crazy on you. The tasks will be updated every time you finish one. If you make it through the night, then you're in for another one. The interesting thing about this game is that you know it's coming. You know that baby will come for you, but you'll still be surprised when the baby loses its mind. Even you have to think that you have to handle this baby with care. Who knows what will happen if you continue to throw the baby on the floor, which you can, but should you do it? If you love horror games on the go, especially this one where you're a babysitter, then download this game on your Android device since it is free. Number 2. Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Are ya ready to play, kids? Oh, sorry, don't know what happened there. Then you might want to try SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. If the title sounds familiar, then that's because this game is an update of the 2003 game released for the PS2, Xbox, PC, and GameCube. The original game had the same title, minus the rehydrated part, so that single word tells you that this is an update. Rehydrated isn't a remake because it updates the visual aspects of the game. The graphics are more colorful and vibrant compared to the old game. That's all that's been really updated, which is the graphics, and they work well for most mobile games. The gameplay is pretty much the same, where it is a 3D action and platformer game. You get to play SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. Choose any of these characters that you want to play as long as they are available for the scenario. The story involves Plankton trying to rule Bikini Bottom with his army of robots. Even Mr. Krabs is on your side, and you can meet more characters in the game. Even if you played the old game, that's even more of an incentive to play something, especially if you're a Spongebob fan. This game does have a price, but it's worth it, and it also has controller support, so that takes you back to the past if you played this on consoles. Number 1. Sky, Children of the Light. If you want to play a beautiful game, then the number 1 game on this list is Sky, Children of the Light. This game came out last year for PC and consoles, but you can now get it on your Android device for free. It is made by the same people from that game company that made Journey, which is another popular and successful game. This game is like a work of art, and not something that was made to make a quick buck. You can control your character by exploring different areas of the game. The beauty of this is that you don't really know what you're doing until it hits you right in the head. Players can come into your game if you want, or you can go to other players' games. Much like Journey, this game doesn't allow you to chat or communicate through text or audio. You communicate using your character's actions and emotions. The level of customization in this game is outstanding. You can make your character stand out in a distinct way and change it later on when you want to. The visuals are superb and the lighting is perfect in some specific areas. Unfortunately, this game can also be a place for other players to troll and grief other players. That's just the norm in some games where people may take things a little bit overboard. Regardless, Children of the Light is a fun game to pick up, and it can be very relaxing when you play it on a cold night as you drift into this fantasy world. These are just 5 of the most interesting games for you to play on your Android device. There is also a backlog of older games from recent years if you really want to get the most out of your Android. Just remember, free games are always available, but paying for a small amount to get quality games isn't such a bad idea. If you like this list, let us know about it in the comments, as well as other games that you think are good for the year 2021. Hit subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for more next time.